Okay, everybody, I appreciate you jumping on to Gunology. Hope you guys subscribe and like if you like the video. Today we are going to be jumping into one that I have been wanting to do for quite some time. This is going to jump into basically a series that we're going to try to do here. We're going to involve some other people other than myself. But this is going to be the start of the video. If you guys have already seen the title, you know that this is going to be a top 5 video. And I'm going to try to make this a top 5 series of videos, all right? So today's top 5 video, in fact, is going to be top 5, maybe 5 guns that if you don't own, you should maybe consider owning, right? So you may own a couple of these already. Maybe you own none of these. Regardless, we are going to try to see regardless, if you guys own 1, 2, 3, 4, throw that down in the comments. If I've maybe missed or overlooked something that you think should be in this top 5 list, please comment and let me know. Furthermore, nevertheless, let's go ahead and jump into this top 5. These are not going to be in any specific order, so I'm just going to kind of grab them as they come to me. So here we go. This first one on the list may surprise a couple of you guys, and it probably won't surprise very many of you. Over the last few years, it's become kind of like a cult-like thing to either be on one side of the fence for this gun or the other side of the fence of this gun. And that would be the coveted 1911. Since the striker-fired pistols and stuff have come out, some people absolutely adore the 1911. They say that it's a great handgun. I am included in that, and I probably don't fit the bill at only in my mid-20s. Most of the guys that are loving this gun in the traditional 45 ACP are going to be the boomers, the old guys, right? But I feel you guys, this is a great handgun. You guys that have shot one or own one know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that this paved the way for a lot of other handguns, even some of the striker-fired guns, right? Between the grip angle and the internal builds of some of these pistols. And you still can't find any of these striker-fired pistols with the triggers that these have in them. You guys know that the 1911 style pistols have won national matches when it comes to accuracy. And at the end of the day, the 1911 is just a very, very fun pistol to shoot at the range, regardless of what you're doing. You can shoot these in matches. They have special matches made for single stack style 1911 guns. Just a plethora of different manufacturers make this. So, I mean, you could own one from 500 to 5,000 if you wanted to. Regardless, like I said, this is in no particular order, but the 1911 has to fit the bill for this top 5 list. It's just iconic, and it's a beautiful, they make beautiful, beautiful handguns. This one here is a Kimber Custom Two-Tone. This is one of my personal ones, but like I said, if you don't own one, try to get the opportunity to find one, buy one. Borrow one, shoot it. You guys will totally see what I'm saying. You're hooked. The 230 grain ball for the 45 ACP is some big rounds that are actually super pleasant to shoot out of a steel frame gun, right? So that's not to be overdone or underdone. But moving on to the number 2 spot, if you want to call it the number 2 spot, it's going to be the number 2 spot in this video. Is going to be its counterpart, right? It's going to be a striker-fired new style handgun, right? This one is the Sig Sauer P365 XL. I am doing kind of a review type thing. This has got a true precision barrel and a compensator and stuff on it. It doesn't come with this like this. Regardless, I did put these on here to run it. I'm absolutely loving this handgun, by the way. This one fits the bill for multiple things, right? So if you need a gun to conceal carry, this is right at the top of the pack right now. The SIG kind of paved the way for all these other gun manufacturers jumping on board, doing this micro compact with the high capacity mags. So I believe with the flush fit, this is like a 12+1 situation. Regardless, these pistols are fantastic. They shoot great. You can conceal carry them. This is in 9mm. I'm sure you guys understood and knew that to start with. But if you haven't shot something smaller framed, you need to, but don't go so small that it's uncomfortable, right? So when it comes, just being honest, when it comes to certain 380s and even certain 9s right now on the market. Some of them are just too small for my personal preference, and then some of them fit the bill exactly for what you're looking for. This would be one of them. I don't want this to be understated, right? This can be a fantastic house gun. There's no reason, just because you concealed carry it. Like I said, the 365 XL punches above its weight class. Believe it or not, with this true precision barrel, I actually believe that it's like the same length as like a Glock 19 barrel in this, so that's kind of cool. We've shot this. You can get tremendous accuracy out of these. These things will shoot better than you can hold them, I'm certain. Even off of a bench, these things shoot freaking great. But this would make a great house defense gun. If you don't have one, try to find a way to get one, right? And it doesn't have to be this specific one, but if you have guns and you don't own something in that micro size with the high capacity, you're a little bit behind the game, right? So for the last 2-3 years, they've been putting these out. Everybody's making them now. They're affordable. Go ahead, jump on board, grab one, carry it, have it at the house, whatever, get used to it. This has to be in a top 5 for guns that I think everybody should own if you don't. Moving on, we're gonna be to our third and final, kind of, handgun, and we are stepping it up a notch from either of these. There has to be a wheel gun on the list, right? Has to be a revolver on the list. This does have snap caps in it, so don't be freaked out by that. It's not loaded. You can squeeze the trigger, nothing happens, right? It's actually kind of designed for this. But at the end of the day, if you do not have, and not just a revolver in itself, I'm talking to all my big bore guys out there right now. If you do not own a big bore revolver, you're missing something, right? We all know the recoil slaying monsters. You guys know that these big bore handguns are an absolute blast, literally blast to shoot. So I mean, you can go up for something like this to a Hornady XTP 240 grain with like H110 powder and absolutely have a monster cartridge. Or you can run a lead cast load, light load, target shoot with this. You can hunt with this. This is multi-facet. Some of these guys on YouTube that I've actually been watching recently have mentioned that they actually have like 44 Magnums as their home defense guns, which just absolutely blows my mind that some of these guys would be familiar enough and confident enough to shoot a 44 Magnum in the house. At the end of the day, don't want to talk your guys' ears off on this one, but big bore revolver, kind of preferably the 44 Magnum, right? The 357 holds a special place in my heart. I absolutely love it. Anything past the 44 and you're starting to get out of the realm of things that are fun to shoot, like I said, this is so multi-use. It's versatile. You can deer hunt, hog hunt, depending on where you are, silhouette shoot, target shoot. This can be so used for so many different things. It's actually kind of scary, but at the end of the day, it's an iconic handgun, and it's one that everybody should have in the safe somewhere, right? So regardless, that's kind of the 3 handguns. I'm going to move on to the 4th one, which shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, and that would be in the state of the world that we're in now. Go ahead and jump on board and buy an AR-15. For the love of the Lord, buy an AR-15 now while you can. I don't know that it's going to be around forever. Excuse me for that. This was one that I built myself. That's also to go ahead and start this thing off. Dad always told me never buy anything that you don't know how to work on yourself. And there's a lot of truth to that, okay? This is one, I pulled this one out specifically because of this. Every single piece and part on this gun I put together myself. I've got hundreds of rounds through it, and I say hundreds and not thousands because this is 300 blackout, and that is not cheap to shoot. Even if you reload, not cheap to shoot. All my reloaders out there, where the primer's at, right? But every single piece of this was my doing, right? So this is like adult Legos, is how multiple guys have kind of hit me up about this. Super modular. You can buy multiple calibers of this. They make hundreds of thousands of parts between buttstocks, grips, flip-up sights, red dots, 4-end grip. I mean, you can literally customize this thing and turn it into anything you want, right? You can, of course, hunt with this. You can defend yourself with this. You can defend your house with this. It's one of those things, right, that it gets kind of a bad light in the news right now. And if you guys shoot and understand what I'm saying, it's not any more deadly or lethal than anything else that I've showed you up until now, right? You guys know that just as well as I do. These are wonderful firearms. It took me a little while to kind of jump on board, jump on boat, and now I own multiple ARs and multiple calibers, which is, like I said, part of the fascination with these. This one's got a dot. You can run scopes, and then when we get into it, you can shoot. I've shot this one out to like maybe 250, 300, if I'm not mistaken, with some of my hand loads. This thing shoots phenomenal. This exact here, I think part of this is because of the Wilson Combat barrel I was running. It's a Wilson Combat 8.3 inch, whatever they call it. I have shot this one at like 3/4 inch, half-inch groups at 100 yards. That's 3-shot groups, not 5. But Timney triggers, it's just incredibly how modular these things are, and how hated they are now. But not to us gun guys. Us gun guys love them. We'll never give them up. And there's good reason for that, right? They do produce an extreme amount of firepower, and in the right hands, they've never hurt anyone in my hands, right? They're just extremely fun to shoot. And at the end of the day, for people like me that like to do things myself and piddle, you can build these in your basement and have an absolute blast with it. So AR-15 has to be on the top 5 list of guns that you should own if you don't. Moving on, this will be the number 5th and final. Hope the video is not getting too long for you guys, and I hope you guys don't care to sit here and hear me ramble. Yeah, you guys seen that? I don't know if you guys seen that or not. I'll do that one more time, right? So this is one that I actually picked up like this. It was already in this Magpul stock. This is, and it doesn't have to be this exact one, but it is a Ruger 10/22. Probably the most famous and sold rifle in America if you would check it. Possibly in the world, right? And this is only a version of that, kind of a new version, right? The Ruger 10/22 is a great plinker, and it is a great trainer, and it is a great learner, in a sense of if you have a kid that you are trying to get into shooting, there is nothing better. Maybe start bolt action, depending on how young they are, but as soon as you grow out of that stage, this is great. Obviously, you can hunt small game and stuff with this, but at the end of the day, this is one of the funnest rifles, believe this or not. Probably one time in 5 or 6 times that I go to the range, this gets thrown in the car, and 9 times out of 10 that I take it, it gets drug out and I actually shoot it, right? Believe it or not, these little 10/22s are phenomenal for trick shooting because they don't hardly weigh anything, so you can kind of hold them and manipulate them the way that you want to. It's a very, very cool design from Ruger. It takes 10 round, the stock actually holds more of them, right? So it takes 10 round rotary mags. It'll take, I believe they make 30 round mags and stuff for them now. But at the end of the day, there is nothing truly more American and than the Ruger 10/22 in any version, in any model, right? I own a couple of these, not the takedown models, of course, but I own a couple different of the 10/22s. You will never go wrong buying one, and anytime you get rid of one, it'll be one that you regret in the future, right? So we appreciate you guys sticking around. If you did, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and that like button. And just for you guys sticking around, I'm gonna give you guys one more that's kind of a wild card. It's not one that's popular on YouTube or anywhere else that I have seen for that matter. It's kind of in that background right now. It's not popularized. I'm not 100% sure why not. All of my buddies here in Kentucky and Southern Ohio absolutely adore them. They shoot them. Guys hunt with them, they target shoot with them, they long range shoot with these guns. So I know that this is a top 5 video, but for every single one in the series, I'm going to do kind of an extra plug type deal. So if there had to be a number 6 or interchange, maybe you've already got one of these and you want something different for the list, it's going to be this one for sure. This is a Thompson Center Encore in the pistol version, right? So I'm running a Vortex Crossfire 2-7 Scout, and that just basically means it's got a little bit bigger of an eye box, as far as I understand, for Vortex making these scopes, to where you can be a little bit farther off of the gun, which you do want to be with these. It is a pistol, it is a handgun at the end of the day. I believe the Encore barrels run 15-inch. They make the contenders in like Super 14, so 14-inch. They make them in 10-inch. They make them in basically anything you want. And this was kind of the AR before ARs in a sense, right? So it's one pin that you take down. You can change this in a multitude of calibers. This one is in the Screaming 204 Ruger. It is a Speed Demon. Kind of a wildcat back in the day, and it's popular now, but not really popular where I live. But the 223 is absolutely popular in this. I have a Contender in 223. It's basically the same thing. These are an absolute blast to shoot if you hand load. Oh my gosh, dude. The potential that you can milk out of one of these if you hand load is incredible. Being able to tune a load for this. My brother has videos of him shooting like 1/4-inch size groups at 100 yards off of sandbags. He's rested, but 1/4-inch groups at 100 yards with one of these. A handgun, 100 yards, 1/4-inch groups. I've seen him shoot groups with that he would outshoot 9 out of 10 guys shooting bolt action, like legit rifles at 100 yards. We have both personally hunted with these. These are the coolest little coyote guns, your truck guns or whatever, ranch guns. It is a single shot break action that locks up one shot, and in a time like today where ammo is hard to get or primers are hard to get and you're not able to just shoot the crap out of everything now, these force you to slow down and pay attention to what you're doing. And any of my shooters out there that enjoy shooting and understand what I'm talking about, you should try to learn from every single shot, right? Make every single shot count and understand what you're doing and try to learn from that. Like I said, I won't talk your guys' ears. This is probably one that most of you guys don't own, and I would implore you to give it a shot. I understand it's not as sexy and it's not as cool. You can't shoot it fast, but that is the design purpose of this, right? The idea is to shoot slow and make every single shot count, right? So that is number 6 in a top 5. Like I said, we're going to be doing a top 5 series of where we have kind of different situations that may come up, and we'll run 5 guns at you that way, right? So if you guys have stuck around, like I said, please subscribe to the channel, throw a like on the video, and hit us up in the comments. Let me know your guys' top 5s, maybe one that you guys know that I don't have or didn't show you here. Throw some comments down in the section down below and let me know what I should try to pick up, what I should shoot, and maybe it'll make it in my personal faves top 5 video, which should be coming up very soon. Here at Gunology, I'm Jansen. We appreciate you guys very, very much. We'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Thanks.